Gemmy. Thanks for joining me for your December 2017 Astro Tarot forecast. I am excited to be here. Thank you for subscribing to the channel and for your support and your likes and your donations. I appreciate you very much. I am shuffling the new Palladini Tarot by David Palladini, and here's what the back looks like. It's two infinity symbols and an Ouroboros kind of vibe where the snake is eating its tail, full circle energy. What a month. I'll just start because there's so much going on. I do want to say, though, that I'm running a special through the 24th of November. If you purchase a 60 or 90-minute Astro Tarot session with me, you will receive 10 free minutes, either to tack on to the end of that reading or to use at a different time by the end of the year for a 10-minute session. So let's start the month. On the 1st of December, Venus enters your polar opposite sign of Sagittarius. And for the entire month of December, that is the sector that is lit up. It's Sagittarius and Capricorn time. So that means it's 7th house of soulmate time and 8th house of intimacy time and shared resources. So let's see how this applies. Venus in the 7th house for Gemini is attracting soulmate, is harmoniously smoothing over your connections in your business partnerships, attracting love. There are options for Gemini, and there's a harmony here in your marriage if you're already married. Now, let's get to the beef, because your ruling planet Mercury is retrograding, and that is on the 3rd of December through the 22nd of December. Mercury begins his retrograde at the 29-degree mark of this sector, Sagittarius, the soulmate. So he goes all the way back to the 11-degree mark until the 22nd. You are strongly reevaluating your marriage, your soulmate, your business partnerships, and there is a final lesson here for Gemini, and that is when Mercury retrogrades over Saturn that exists in this sector at the very tail end of the degrees, 25 to 29 degree mark. Saturn's resting in this area until the 19th of December, and there is a final lesson in your soulmate sector. I think Gemini is hearing from a previous love, a soulmate from the past, or a marriage partner from the past, or even a business partnership, that there's something that needs to go over here again for Gemmy. And I say lessons because that's what Saturn is. He is very serious in discerning what is useful to you. And this is applying in this 7th house of marriage. So for Gemini, it might have been very limiting over the last 3 years with Saturn here. It might have felt restrictive in this area, especially if you haven't found the marriage partner yet. If you have, you've been going through it with them and lessons learned and feeling a little stifled and restricted in your relationship with them. But it's a realignment. By the time this planet leaves, it puts you in a better place in this area, Gemmy. And if you are not in relationship, it's hard to let a lot of people in. And now that he's leaving, it's fully open. And I do believe that Gemini can receive the love that Gemmy really deserves. Please watch your rising sign and your moon sign as well for these forecasts for a full cosmic catch-up. The same day that Mercury retrogrades on the 3rd, we have our full moon at 11 degrees of Gemini. So it's your full moon in the 1st house of self and body. There's closure for Gemini. You're putting something to rest. There's also a full awareness of where you're headed going into next year, which is perfectly timed. We always have our Gemini full moon in December, and I like that. I look forward to that because it makes me feel complete closure before we initiate the New Year's resolutions. You can release something here, Gemmy. You can personally or privately put something to bed and not carry it emotionally, not hang on to it. On the 9th of December, Mars enters Scorpio. This is a very dynamic planet, inspiring energy. It's aggressive, but it's action, and it's entering your health sector. So it is workout time. It's health improvements. It's energy and stamina to be physical and to attain your goals in your work sector too. The 6th house is your daily routine. So Mars here for 60 days is giving Gemini stamina to work out. This is a great weight loss transit for you because Mars is entering a sector where Jupiter is sitting. Now, without Mars, Gemini might be putting on a few pounds when Jupiter's in the 6th house, as well as the 1st. But with Mars here, you have the catalyst planet to keep things at bay. You could put that propensity to expand in the 6th house at bay because Mars is going to have you extra hyper, extra energetic in the 6th house. So I think you'll be shedding the pounds. I also feel like you'll be able to implement a steady course throughout the year with Mars entering the new year in your health sector. It sets the tone for Gemini and Gemini rising to maintain this course of action throughout the year. So it's very powerful. Ooh, I have the chills too. Very powerful placement, and that is Mars, power. So I love this. I love it for any Geminis also who haven't been feeling well. Look forward to this because this will be the energy that you need to heal in the 6th house. On the 18th, we have our new moon at 26 degrees of Sagittarius in the soulmate sector, across the wheel from your 1st house. New marriage, new soulmates. I do think Gemini is meeting someone, but here's where you have potential. It could be someone completely new. It could be someone from the past that is rejuvenated, that feels like new. Because of the Mercury retrograde in this same sector where we have our new moon, where we have Venus, the planet of love, Mercury going backwards draws from the past. It's like, hey, how have you been? I haven't talked to you in a million years. It's communication from people you used to love and know. So it can be new, it could be old new, it could be new to you. So it depends. See how it applies. Now it could also be new business partnership, investing in someone, because the new moon in the 7th house could also affect who you do business with. On the 19th is when Saturn leaves Sag and moves into Capricorn until the 17th of December of 2020. So 3-year stay in the 8th house of sex and intimacy and shared resources. So Gemini, you are not into one-night stands when Saturn's in the 8th house. You take your sex and intimacy very seriously. This is the house of privacy mixed with Saturn, who is restrictive and limiting. You might be very discerning. You might discern who is welcome in this area of your life in more ways than you ever have. And I mean that because Saturn doesn't transit very often. It's every 3 years, so it takes him 30 years to go around the wheel. And now he's here for 3 years for you. And this is not lighthearted. You're not having casual flings with Saturn in the 8th house. It's just not happening. But what this is good for is your money. What Saturn can work at is savings and the right investors, the right people investing in you monetarily and maybe physically. You can meet suitors and have sex in this transit, but you're just not. It would be like literally they have to go through a background check, a bone marrow sample. You need their firstborn. Like there's a lot of process they're going to have to go through to be doing that. And that's fine. Maybe that's exactly where you need to be. There are no mistakes. So you'll be discerning this area very deeply in all things 8th house. Estates, wills, investments, money, shared resources, intimacy, shared sex, shared intimacy. So that's a lot, but Pluto is there. And in the years to come, when Saturn is progressing in this sign, he will eventually cross over Pluto. And that'll be mostly the end of 2018 and all of 2019. And then it gets real serious. Then it gets very deep and intense, and there's a level of devotion that occurs, and that's a word I'm hearing. Devotion with Pluto conjunct Saturn in the 8th house. So this could be intimacy at such a level that it's foreign to you. You've never had this before. And that's still far out there. This is not December 19th where that starts happening. So we still have some time, but I was just looking at the astrology up ahead, and I wanted to mention it. Now, on the 21st, our sun enters Capricorn in this 8th house area, and then on the 25th, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you if you celebrate that. On that day, Venus moves into Capricorn. So that's all lit up in the 8th house. I feel like your money will increase by the end of the month because Venus is lucrative just as much as she is attractive and love, attraction and love in the 8th house of shared resources and other people's money. Who's investing in Gemini? Who's investing in Gemini? Let's get to the cards. I want to see what comes up. And if you'd like to read with me, I read all through the week. I'm at audreyalison.com. You can select your desired reading length via PayPal, and I'll get back to you in an email in a few days, and we can set it up. All right, Gemmy. 2 of Coins. I love the duality for Gemmy. There are decisions to make, but about your money. This is shared resources, 2 people's money, people investing in you. Wow. 2 jobs, a dual income. Doubling up. Oh, this is so classic. Okay, so I'm hearing the whole thing. It's okay to work while you're young. And it's okay if you're doing one job to just try other jobs in addition to the job you're doing. While you're young, you should just earn as much as you can and do as much as you can, and then filter it out as you get older, if you want to. That's the message I just heard, though, so that is applying to some Gemmies out there. 5 of Swords. What a beautiful card, even though it's a little bit of drama. 5 of Swords, you might be angry. You might be pissed and upset. The new moon above him is giving me the 18th. Yeah, new moon. This is a harsh card, and you might come across harsh, and your ruling planet's retrograding. You really want to watch what you're saying, since the swords are communication cards. Watch what you're saying and how you're saying it and to whom you're delivering this message to. Ease off the gas and just ease off the communication for a minute, Gemmy. I know it's hard. We're like, we want to go all the time, but there is something to that. Oh my gosh. Guess what? I love this card. It's my favorite card of the deck. It is Gemini, but it's the only time it's come up out of all 11 signs. I've read for 11 signs already. So you're the only sign that has this card. And it is literally what I just said. Don't communicate as much. Be quiet. The High Priestess, she doesn't need to speak. The High Priestess can levitate on the ocean, honey. She listens to what's above her, her intuition. She's psychic. She is all-knowing. She's claircognizant. She's clairvoyant, clairsentient. You don't need to fight a verbal battle in December. Remain mum. That's not my word. Mum's the word. Okay, so I'm hearing that. Mum is the word. I thought the bird was the word. Or herb's the word, spin's the verb. Hey, I'm hearing all these things now. It's just crazy, but keep mum. Keep quiet. Okay, so you do have, you know what? There's a reason that they're telling you to be quiet. You've got people poking and prodding you. People want to get a reaction out of Gemini. You want to know why? Because they will. Because they'll be like, guess what? Boom, 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 boom. You don't really want to get a Gemini revved up. It's just not going to work out for anybody. But what this is telling me is don't even worry about these pseudo competitors. See how he's a little bit ahead of them? He's up on a higher hill. Those rods poking up at him are being held by other people. And in different cards, you can see that version of this. He's defensive. He feels he needs to be defensive. Don't be verbally defensive right now in December while your ruling planet's retrograding. Competition's going to be there, and people think they know how to do what you're doing. And when you're in a creative business, that'll happen. But they don't need to be schooled by you. Not this month, at least. Hey, you can write it down, get it out that way, but they don't waste your energy on it right now, is what I'm getting. And it'll keep you at peace. And you need peace. And as the High Priestess, you know how to easily access that peace, Gemini. And be your own advisor this month. And if people are offering advice, advice, opinions, this is what I think you should do, who asked? You don't need it. You already know what you need to do. No one's going to give you any advice that you couldn't give yourself if you just listen. And that's what this retrograde is too. Listening as your ruling planet slows down 3 times a year. It's time to listen to the inner clock, to the inner guidance for Gemini. I love this. I love this. You have opportunity coming to you and you can juggle it all. You are the duality. You can handle 2 gigs. You can always handle that. So just have faith in yourself. I do. And I'll see you next month. I'm wishing you a beautiful holiday. Remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.